What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Still Slaps Music Reviews, Music Commentary, Music Reactions. I'm Shuby, repping for Still Slaps. Thank you for joining me today. If this is your first time on the channel, we welcome you and we thank you very much for joining us. Today, guys, we have an awesome review on deck for the new Silk Sonic album. Currently, Silk Sonic is killing it, and they just released their debut album. Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak and Bootsy Collins. Just a very soulful trinity, we're gonna call it here. These three have been a force to reckon with as far as bringing back that vintage, just soulful, rhythmic tone and style in the music, and it's been nothing but a success. It's been nothing but a just a brilliant return to the golden ages of, just like I said, the soulful vintage sound. This album, An Evening with Silk Sonic, is just that. It's very vintage. I like to consider that era of music the golden ages. You end up hearing it over and over again, and the influence that was taken from back then, with a lot of the classic bands that a lot of people that may tune into this review may not know of, bands such as the Whispers, all those old school soulful bands, man. They that a lot of people still listen to today. Silk Sonic, I believe, did a very incredible job with piecing a timeless sort of sound together and coming forth and really bringing it to the forefront of the mainstream again. Bruno Mars, man, is one of those musicians who definitely deserves his props for just being such a force throughout the decades. Bruno Mars is my ideal type of songwriter, type of artist and musician, performer altogether. You know, you can't get any better than a musician like Bruno Mars, who just is multifaceted and just has proven through the course of his career that he is here to continue to be the multi-dynamic, universal, just a loving sort of musician who is just wrapped up in a bow and will deliver every single time he sets foot on a track. You know, there's very little Bruno Mars misses in his discography. And if I'm being honest with you, after this album, An Evening with Silk Sonic, I'm willing to say that Bruno Mars is at the peak of his career. He's one of those musicians who, like I said, he's just stood the test of time, and he's constantly able to just give you this new form of not new, but more or so, he's constantly able to reinvent himself. You know, he can do a little bit of everything when it comes down to the music, and that is the type of person that you want to look up to as a songwriter and as a musician altogether. So, you know, with this album, I feel like I want to say that I definitely appreciate the fact that Bruno and Anderson .Paak have tag team together, because these two together, and you can hear it on this album, it's just a very cohesive chemistry. It doesn't sound like this was forced. It doesn't sound like these two, you know, did this overnight. It sounds like these two were really in the trenches and took a lot of time and care and cadence into making this thing the album that it sounds like today. And it's gonna live on, and they should be proud of themselves. I always felt like Bruno Mars, or not Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak had gotten a lot of the short end of the stick in his career. I think that he, up until now, the duo with Silk Sonic, I feel like he was a great musician alone, but I really do feel like him and Bruno are a piece of collaborative, just soulful, awesome dynamic that should not be taken for granted. I think that they should ride this out for a little bit longer, in my opinion. I think that they should keep on, attempting to reinvent and reform the sound, and keep on with the soulfulness. And not only that, but just experiment with another sound after this, because these two, it couldn't be more obvious that they were meant to make music together. And I think when you have a duo that's able to speak volumes like that, you are looking at a blueprint for just greatness to come throughout, the rest of each individual's music career. And really, more so, I think Anderson .Paak is in the great position when you're talking about something like that. These two can grow together, they can make each other better, and it doesn't seem like it would be anything less than that, so I'm feeling like this album is just a very, very standout, great piece of stamp from both Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Bruno and Anderson .Paak basically reinventing themselves and bringing this type of soulful, vintage, old school R&B / jazz / blues back into the mainstream appeal of music? How are you feeling about it? And yeah, what are your thoughts on the album? Thank you guys for joining me again. This has been Shuby for Still Slaps. Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, Silk Sonic, An Evening with Silk Sonic. Still slaps.